share with us about who you are and just a little bit about that.
Well, I've grown up in the church my entire life, and I feel really blessed for growing up in the church my entire life because I feel like I've just known, I feel very comfortable there. It's like a second home to me, kind of. I just enjoy knowing that I have that kind of safe place there where I trust people and I feel like people, I feel at home there. It's like when I go to my grandma's house or something like that.
This is a part of a series about generations of faith that we're having this time together. And so, we're asking some of the other people that we're talking to about what they may share with people who are older or younger than them about faith. I think now, what would you want to tell someone younger than you?
That I always think about like people, and a lot of times I think people don't do things because they feel very judged for it. So I would try to tell them how God doesn't judge them, for their sins and things. He just they forgiveness and stuff. Because I think a lot of people don't really think about, they sin and they feel awful for it, but don't think about the forgiveness side of it. So I would talk to them probably about that and just how they can be their own person. Because I think a lot of times people try to follow in the line with other people just to try to not look weird or different. So probably something about that just so they can help easier find their own way and their own, like who they want to be.
You've always had a heart for others. I mean, when you were in the leadership team in middle school, you always talked about ways we could do to reach out to other people, how share Jesus to help other people. I mean, that's been your heart ever since I've known you, and that's one of the many things I've appreciated about you is your heart to reach out to others and serve others, not out of guilt, but out of compassion.
Yeah.
Like I always just find it very important to me. I don't know exactly why. There's many other things that are important. If other people don't, because I feel like some people hear about God and they just hear about him as this evil, smitey person or whatever. I'm just like, where did you hear that, And that makes me sad because they just have this this flawed thought of him. And so I always try to find it important to point out the love that he gives and not the hate, because so many people focus on the hate and the judgments and not the love.
What's your hopes for the church for the future?
I think a lot of times people, back to the God being a punisher and things, I think a lot of times people are scared to go to church and they kind of feel weary about it just because their past experiences with it. So I hope that as the church kind of evolves and things, people can see there can be, obviously sometimes there are people in churches that can be very standoffish, but I hope that people can see it more as a safe place, not a place of judgment. And it makes me sad that people see it as a place of judgment, because I've always never seen it as a place of judgment because I was blessed to grow up in a church that is a safe place. But I think a lot of people struggle with times that aren't, and I just hope that that can change because I don't like that.
Honestly, people have been hurt by the church, and that can really impact them.
Because people think, well, they were hurt by that church, so obviously they're going to be hurt by every church, and including God, and they just get so pushed away from that people think it is their job.
God's job, Holy Spirit's job to convict, our job to love people.
Mm-hmm.
Why does all this matter?
I go back to the thought of just spreading God's and his love and things like that to others, just because I always think about if you talk to someone about God and you get them to believe in God or something like that, if you just show them some kind of compassion and then they spread to other people, and it's a big, form.